It's Pete Spencer. So Pete, tell us a bit about Malcolm Allison and what he meant to Manchester City.
Well, when I was growing up in Manchester and starting to play football myself, badly as it happens, Malcolm Allison was the main figure for Manchester City. Joe Mercer was the brains, if you like, as Allison was the flamboyant figure that grabbed all the headlines. He had, let's say, a colourful life in terms of women, and also on the football pitch he introduced the most imaginative kind of style of play that was copied all over the world. He was an absolute perfect athlete, and that's probably one of the reasons why he seems to have lasted so long in ill health. I mean, it was so sad to see him deteriorate quickly. I remember one day when I was working on what was the Sunday Pink on a Saturday night, and I literally saw him staggering around central Manchester, and I had to bring him into the office and sat him down. He was telling me he was an Arsenal scout, but he clearly had a lot to drink. And I rang Francis Lee up and I said, look, what am I going to do? And Francis Lee said, don't give him any more money, whatever you do. So I said, well, he wants money for a taxi. So he said, right. So we came to a deal, Francis and I, where basically I put him in a taxi and Francis paid at the other end, because we determined that he would get home safely that night. And it was a freezing cold night in Manchester. So I had sad memories as well, but basically he's a fantastic character, larger than life. He was like the Gascoigne, the biggest name you could think of in football of the 60s was Malcolm Allison. It was like George Best, effectively.
Yeah, and part of the glory days of Man City, really.
But yeah, it was the time when City took over from United, albeit briefly, in terms of winning things in the late 60s when City won the league and carried on with a great successful team. Bell, Lee, Summerby were famous, of course. Tony Buck captained the team, and Tony Buck has given me a great tribute, which in tomorrow's Manchester Evening News.
Yeah, and we're sadly missed by the City fans. Yeah,
a lot of younger City fans won't remember him that well at all. They'll just see the odd older guy at matches, but basically if it wasn't for him, Manchester City wouldn't have been up there as the glamour team that they are today.
Yeah, a fantastic man off the pitch as well as involvement in football.
Yeah, he had some characters side to him that wouldn't have been described in that way, but he was was like a showman before his time. He'd go on the pitch with a great big hat on and he'd start baiting the United fans. Probably get arrested today. And as Tony Buck's told me, he's the sort of person that he wouldn't want people mourning his death. He'd want people holding up flutes of champagne and celebrating the fantastic life he's had and how he's transformed English football.
Fantastic. Thanks very much.